Love alone, love alone, love alone. And oh, don't study my pants. Don't study my pants. That was the last time we laughed like that. And I'm glad that we had that moment. Welcome back to another episode of my blog vlog. My name is Mustapha, otherwise known to my readers as I'll Amuse You. And yeah, I just decided to, you know what? One episode at least must live up to the name. So I brought you all to the Isle, or I brought the Isle to you all. We're on the beach! It is good to be out in the sun and for all you to see how it's looking as well. Like, yeah, take a look on it, take a look. It's like, I'm gonna get out of the shot for you. You know what I'm saying? See now, island right there. The waves are crashing in. It's a beautiful evening. The sun is nice and warm. The breeze is cool. The ocean water is cooler. The sand is nice and toasty. You can feel it crinkling in between your toes and sinking into it as you walk on it. Coconuts falling off the trees. The breeze tickling your nostrils. Sand dancing along the shoreline, making castles that you not seeing with your eyes. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Right? We outside. So this week I decided, yeah, I live on an island. My backgrounds could be saucy. And so welcome to the first one, right? Um, as it's May, I'm going to be continuing with the memoirs. And so a lot of you responded and was very much entertained by Vows of Silence. And I really appreciate all the feedback. Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I feel like that was one of the favorites so far. It had a few that people gave some feedback on, but they particularly like that one. So I appreciate, as always, share, like, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me talk about it, and we get into it. So this week, May month, memoirs out on the Isle of Trinidad and Tobago. I'll Muse You presents Vow of Silence. That was the last time we laughed like that, and I'm glad that we had that moment. Back in 2013, when we were together, she is what you'd definitely call beautiful. 5'8", slim, nerdy, and sexy. The type to research everything. Also the type to hyperventilate about dying when she'd let WebMD diagnose her headache. She was her own balance, like a Libra scale. The type to read Harry Potter books into the twilight. She's thick in some places that feel alright. I never needed both hands to hold her abundance, but I did it anyway. She was never too much, but more than a handful. Just enough to be full. She was full and fulfilling. She was a 32B with the bounce of a C, once she cool around you. And she was cool to me. With ears like Spock, lips like, yes, please. A round button nose with holes that go from 1 cent to 5 cents depending on how much she gets. A flair, certainty of self. She had a round face that turned into a smiley emoji mixed with chipmunk cheeks and big white teeth. Her whole face smiled at once. That happened every time she smiled. Her chuckles would turn into heaves, then gradually transition to laughter. It was the cutest thing to see up close. She always passed her left hand over her forehead to pull her braids back. Then put her right hand to her neck, then on her chest when it was hearty. I think it was to hold herself up from turning into a puddle of giggles. She cracked herself up, and me too sometimes. Mostly from how funny she'd think it was the funniest thing ever. Her joy looked like slow mornings where everything goes right. Her thrill was like a bird song, musical, high-pitched, echoing chirps that feathered my face as she threw her arms around me in hysteria. She was a great person, a caring friend, an understanding soul. I don't know much about soulmates, or even if I believe in that rhetoric. But if it's true, she's the closest thing I ever had to it. We could talk about anything. She talked about everything. She could real talk. She talked a lot. It was like having your own radio program with no ads. Like maybe she was a journalist in one of her lifetimes. I came out learning about weird things and random facts. She was smart, but not the obnoxious kind. She'd share her knowledge because fun facts were always good to know, she said. We both worked during the week. We would see each other 2 or 3 times if time allowed on evenings. But on the weekends, I would be at her place. From Friday night till Monday morning, most times that's where I'd be. She shared a quaint 2-bedroom apartment with her roommate Boyo. It was green and vanilla on the inside, if I recall correctly. There was a dining table in the middle of the room with a chess piece on it. A bookshelf to the right when you walk in. Board games on the floor. Notepads on the couch, possibly from schoolwork. Possibly just a Google search turned into a WebMD deep dive. That decorated her character to me more than the space. Composed. Scattered. Damn it. I start writing about her again when I should be describing the scene. Moving gingerly along. She's in the kitchen, wearing those grey tennis shorts with white piping. There's a light blue vest she likes to match with it when she know I'm coming over. Her eclectic playlist moved from the Backstreet Boys to the Cranberries to 2 Chainz. The beat to cooking rhythm was in sync. I love to watch her cook. This was her other element, humming through the kitchen in her own unique way. During the meal prep, we were talking about how her day was. What's the recipe she saw on Pinterest? It was also the first time I had ever had a conversation before the act of and about sex. As in, talking about what we wanted to do or try. It was uncomfortable only because it was unfamiliar. At least face to face for me. I was, however, fairly apt in the art of sexing. But it was a safe space, so we shared. And I always wanted to try redacted here. Oh yeah, mind your business, it moved damn fast. She wanted to try role playing, where we got to choose who we wanted them to be. So overly intrigued was I, as this was something I never knew about her. I suppose that was the point of talking about it before or at all. Taboo was never a factor in conversations for us, by the way. Tell me more, I giddily inquired, and she did. We ate, played chess, she was teaching me how to, then settled on the couch, cozied up for a movie. I chose one of my favorites, Simon Birch. We never really got far into movies. We'd always have to pause and come back. A tender touch would turn into a sudden rush. Kisses exchanged were like sleeping or camping in the wild. Intense. Spells with passion imbued in incantations of I love you shared through my wand, received in her chalice. My head swirling. Why did I write that? A tender touch would turn into a sudden rush. Kisses exchanged were like sleeping or camping in the wild. Intense. Spells with passion imbued in incantations of I love yous, shared through my wand, received in her chalice. My head swirling around in her hands, her faceless lips steady in mine. I bit her cheeks at the bottom, then traced around and completed it with a smooch. Breath, knowing it only exists in the gasp between us. I was playing my role, and she was talking through it, chattering. Nonchalant wasn't in her. She faced it with defiance. I looked at her, face straight, heart mischievous. She paused. She hardly ever paused. So when she looked at me and asked what I wanted her to be, I said, "You can be a nun who took a vow of silence." The pregnant pause was long enough to birth an elephant. The 10 seconds was the longest as her left eye said, "I going and burn this place down." Her right eye said, "I love that. Fuck you, you cheeky bastard." Smirks turned to laughter, filling the room like surround sound. It was one of those moments, you know, the kind you would have with a friend, when everything at the time was ripe for those exact words. Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. She frowned. Then her eyes brightened. Then another frown. Her face speaking, saying everything her mouth now can't. Laugh and love making does live in the same house. We talked for 3 hours after that and then fell asleep in each other's arms. So the thing does go. So the thing does go. So yeah, that was a vow of silence this week or for this month's memoir. Um, fun fact, the person who's actually about, like I couldn't, like I remembered the morning, like that specific memory is top 5 in relationship moments, and not just with her, like throughout all the relationships I had, like if I had to count like moments that I remember from them, that was definitely one of them in the top 5, top 3. As a matter of fact, I think it would be in the top 3 for a relationship moment that I would have had. Everything about it just made sense at the time, but I couldn't remember what it has led up to it completely. And so I reached out to her, and she kind of helped me fully into some blanks. So shout out to her very much. I love you plenty. And yeah, thank you guys for logging on, rocking with me out here in the beach for another episode of my blog vlog. This was Vows of Silence for May Memoir Month. Also, if you guys want any copies of my books or merch, please feel free to check it out on my Gumroad or Amazon. And yeah, you could always just leave a tip for me on coffee, so I could buy a little latte or something. And you can check out all the rest of my blogs and things there. And I'm gonna go to the beach now and just, you know, enjoy it and look back and things. And you know, I really appreciate you for locking and rocking with me too. And yeah, love alone, love alone, love alone, love alone. And oh, don't study my pants. Don't study my pants.